Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have actually got a slightly different video. Today is regarding my gym routine as well as supplementation and diet. First we're going to cover essentially why I do what I do. We've got a back day montage and I'll explain the exercises as I've got them down. After that I will go through the diet that I do, why I have the amount of carbs that I do, the protein and the fats. And then after that, I will touch on the supplementation that it's not super important. However, I know that a lot of people will be interested in that. So I've added that in at the end if you are interested. So yeah, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy it. So the first exercise that we actually have is a lat pull down. This is quite a familiar one. A lot of people will know this one. It's a simple move from the top to the bottom, contracting your lats. The way I like to do this exercise is slow and controlled. I've had a few back injuries recently, so it stopped me from doing heavy weights, but slow and controlled. And when you're going from the top, I recommend pulling through your elbows and contracting your back down like that, as you'll see in the montage after. Exercise 2, we have the cable pullovers, as you will see in the montage straight after. This one I like a lot. You should feel it right in the middle of your backs, sort of like the tricep push down. However, rather than pulling or pushing down with your tricep, what you're doing is you're stretching your arms out, going from the top all the way to the bottom. With this one, it's really important to make sure you go all the way up, have your arms way above your head, and that way you'll feel the whole contraction, not just at the bottom part. The eccentric contraction as well as the concentric, very important, these two. And yeah, so exercise 3, we have the cable rows. This one I like a lot. However, at the moment, because of my back injuries, I haven't been able to do it as well as I would like with as much weight. But yeah, essentially, so what you're doing is you're coming from a different angle each time. So the first one, you're coming from the top, the second one slightly lower, and then from the bottom to your back. Again, with this one, you focus on pulling with your elbows through the middle of your back and contracting. If you like, you can hold it for a second at the top. That will help a lot. And then go slow down as well. Like I say, with this one, the eccentric, on the way down, that's just as important as on the way up. So if you slow that down, you will feel the pump quite well. And yeah, so the last exercise that we have for back is what I like to call a transitional exercise. So what I mean by this is when you're training back and you're trying to isolate your back, your biceps do get some form of activation. However, it's not as great as you would like. So what I do is I do a supinated grip chin up. This is a good exercise because essentially it does still involve your back and your biceps as well, and it lets you transition over to the bicep part, which is why I incorporate it into my workout. And since I've started doing this one, my biceps have grown considerably, and I've been going to the gym, I don't know, 7 years or so, and I've noticed a difference after that. And yeah, so moving on to the bicep part of this workout, I only do 2 exercises for this one. With these 2 exercises, it does give me either part of the bicep. So one, we have the peak, and the other one we have the hammer, which is the brachialis, which is the outside of the bicep. That essentially gives you that 3D look of a bicep. A lot of people can have a nice big bicep from the side. However, when you look them front on, they don't have the width. This single arm cable hammer is what I do for the width, and then the cable bar curls is what I do for the peak, essentially, as you will see on the montage. As far as recommendations for the cable bar curls, what I would suggest is go slow. Try to keep your elbows tucked, not moving up too high. And as you contract, go down slowly and almost see that your tricep is tensing. You should see it like expand and you'll be able to see the tricep. And then go again. With this one, the weight isn't super important. Well, with most gym exercises, the weight isn't super important. It's just about getting the contraction, essentially progressively overloading your system. But yeah, following that, we have the one arm hammer curl. I do like this one a lot. Today we have focused mostly on cables. The reason for the cables is I find them to be a little bit better when you're not feeling so good. So essentially, like I said, I have my back injuries. With the cables, it allows you to have more control over the weight. There's not so many transitional muscles being involved. Although when you are bulking and try to putting on strength, I would suggest free weights to be better. However, with the circumstance that I'm at now, that's what I've had to go with. So yeah, that's essentially the workout. We don't do that much volume, but we do go 6 days a week. We do this exact exercise twice a week. And as I am cutting at the moment, we're not really trying to progressively overload. We're just trying to control the weight, not get injured more than we already are, and essentially go from there. So yeah, the montage will follow after, as you'll see everything that I've talked about here in order as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Welcome back. Yeah, so now I'm going to touch on the diet side of my gym routine. This is probably more important than the gym itself, because if you don't know essentially what you're eating and how many calories you get in, you don't know if you're bulking or cutting, you're going to stay the same. So yeah, starting off, we do 2,500 calories to start. This is a cutting diet that I'm doing. My maintenance is around 2,600, 2,700 based off whether I work or not. But yeah, we're doing 2,500, and every 2 weeks or so when we start to hit a plateau, what I do is I cut 100 calories off that, or I incorporate more cardio, and that's how we burn the calories. So going on to the carbs, as you can see here, it's 281 grams, which equates to about 45% of my total calories. When I'm cutting, at the very start of the cut, I don't focus too much on cutting out carbs, as this is your main energy source. And protein doesn't quite do it the same. But later down in the diet, as you get further down, say 2,200, 2,100 calories, we will strip that down. Moving on to the protein, we do 187 grams. What's generally recommended is 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. My body weight is roughly 80 kilos, which as far as I'm aware is about 165-ish pounds, maybe 170 pounds. So yeah, for me, this is perfect. I find it doable. It's not super easy to hit this amount of protein, just because you do have to drink a lot of protein shakes. And my diet isn't exactly perfect in terms of chicken, rice, broccoli, all these things. But yeah, moving on to the fats, what we have is 70 grams. This equates to about 25% of my total calories. The fats I don't focus on so much. However, when you are cutting, it is very important to keep your fats up and not completely deplete them. Your fats do contribute a lot towards your hormones and how you're feeling. A mistake I see a lot of people make is they think that fat directly correlates to actual fat. So what they do is they end up cutting them out and they become miserable. Honestly, fat regulates all your hormones. If you don't have any fats, you will feel like trash. So I wouldn't recommend that. So yeah, essentially that's the diet that I've been following for quite a while. And like I say, I try to cut down 100 or add some more calories every time I hit a plateau. At the moment, I haven't really got a goal per se for weight or look. I'm not, planning on a summer, not planning on a wedding, nothing like that. So I'm going quite slow. I have the occasional cheat day. I will go out for meals. It's nothing serious for now, but it's a vague diet that I'm trying to follow. And yeah, guys, so the last part of this video, and the reason I have left this for last is because it isn't the most important. It makes about 1% of your diet, and everything else your consistency for the gym. But I will know that some people would like to hear about this. So yeah, I've added this in. To start with, I have this L-carnitine. I don't know if you can see that so well. It's essentially Trek Nutrition's L-carnitine plus green tea. I take 4 of these in the morning when I am cutting. So what L-carnitine does, it actually essentially heats up your body and makes you burn more calories when you are on a cut. It's essentially a fat burner to a degree. I know a lot of people are hesitant about fat burners. I've taken this myself. It does definitely make you sweat more. So just be prepared for that. It's not anything unusual. The only side effect I have noticed is it will occasionally upset my stomach in the morning if I haven't eaten that much. And as I do like to fast as I go deeper into the cut, it does become slightly harder to adjust to the L-carnitine that I have got. It could just be a case of the product, as I haven't looked specifically into this company. But yeah, just from my own experience, it does upset your stomach a little bit. Moving on, we have the omega-3 fish oils. I take these every day, one a day. Essentially, this helps with brain function, heart function, joint functions. I've seen people like Chris Bumstead, Mr. Olympia, talk heavily about fish oils and how he overdoses on fish oils intentionally, just to essentially help his joints and make sure that everything's fine. I do recommend them. Moving on, we do have a multivitamin. This is just a little brand one, quite simple, less than £1 to buy, or $1 if you're in America. So yeah, I take them just because I don't really eat that many vegetables to supplement my nutrition, so that's why I have these. Moving on from those ones, what we do have now is ashwagandha tablets. I have tried test boosters, which are natural, before anyone says anything, and I have seen the effects. And what I've done essentially, I've ordered things off Amazon separately, each ingredient, and essentially started to test how I feel with each one individually, just so I know exactly how my body's reacting to each one. I haven't done any blood work, but yeah, I'm essentially just running tests on myself, which is I recommend you do as well, because everybody's different. And yeah, without further ado, anyways, we have New Leaf Products ashwagandha tablets. I take 2 of these a day, and yeah, I'll clip in Andrew Huberman talking about these.
There are other supplements such as ashwagandha that also fall into this category of affecting multiple hormones. Ashwagandha is a very potent supplement in terms of reducing cortisol levels. It has also been shown to increase testosterone levels, but probably indirectly. And that's because cortisol and testosterone sort of exist on a seesaw in terms of pathways. They're on separate pathways, but those pathways interact enough that when cortisol is lowered, in general, testosterone tends to increase.
He talks about these, and the next one that I have, it's Fidogia agrestis.
The Nigerian shrub called Fidogia agrestis. Fidogia is usually taken at about 600 milligrams. The most dramatic effect I've ever seen was somebody who had his testosterone down in the low 2s, or I think it was like low 2s, and he got it up to the 700 range.
Supplements outside of that, we do take protein shakes. I try to eat, essentially what I do when I'm not super focused on a goal is I will hit my protein. And once I've hit my protein, I will just backfill with carbs and fats, unless I am trying to get lean for a specific scenario. I do also fast, as I touched on before in this video. With the fasting, I try to do anywhere between 18 to 20 hours. The reason I do it so long is just because when I am hungry, I eat big meals in between those windows, and it does fill me up quite a lot, and I feel good to go for the next few days. So yeah guys, that's been my diet, gym routine and supplements. I hope this has been of value to you guys. If you have any questions about gym, I would consider myself quite well read. So yeah, feel free to message me anything or comment down below, and I'll be sure to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for watching guys, and catch you on the next one. Cheers.